Strict compliance leads to a company screwing itself. DL, Doctor, a company's management doesn't like me because I'm not politically correct and am too accurate predicting problems, so they reassign me and give others credit for my work. I turn a do-nothing assignment with a government customer into a way of helping them unravel the company's inaccurate status reporting and find the company's actual performance. The company gets hit hard with financial penalties, managers leave, and I get hired by the customer, which results in even more bad news for my old management team. This is a bit long. There are elements of revenge here, but since I didn't have to do anything, I don't think it fits into any of the revenge subreddits. I worked for a major government contractor for a government agency. If I named the agency or location, it'd be pretty obvious to people with long memories and an axe to grind. I'd risen up through the ranks because I have good technical knowledge and I have a knack for seeing a big picture view of big projects and seeing potential problems. I was very good at what I did. Many managers didn't like me because I pointed out problem areas, over 75% accuracy, and I stated facts without regard for management politics. I didn't suck up. Some managers gave Fair-Haired Boy, a suck-up, credit for my work, which I'd done before Fair-Haired Boy was even working on the project. Then they desperately needed my technical expertise on a very large procurement, 8 digits. I wrote most of the technical specifications, identifying risk areas and the consequences of bad procurement decisions. Fair-Haired Boy dismissed my arguments as no big deal and we can work around that, so management ignored me and ended up buying inadequate equipment.
I was reassigned, again, and Fair-Haired Boy was given what should have been my job, with a promotion and big raise. My parting gift to the project managers was a detailed memo highlighting every technical problem that I foresaw in that development and how it could be avoided. It was a very long list of nearly 100 watch items, and they ended up hitting almost all of them. As usual, management ignored me. Due to company rules and a lot of prior excellent personnel performance reviews, management couldn't fire me immediately, but I could tell I was being set up for termination. I was assigned a job to work directly with the customer as liaison, actually sitting on the customer site. Management figured I'd be an irritant and distract the customer from the company's issues.
In the meantime, I'd keep our company informed about what the customer was saying behind closed doors. And I was supposed to tell the customer what was management wanted me to say was happening in the company. Management intended it to be a do-nothing job to keep me out of sight, out of mind. I don't do nothing jobs. I took it seriously. But after a couple of months, management told me in no uncertain terms that I was not permitted to answer the customers' questions about what was going on inside the company on the project, and that I was not permitted to talk at internal company meetings where the customers' needs were being discussed. I was muzzled and set up for failure, or so they thought. Now comes the malicious compliance that ended up with revenge. When asked by the customer, instead of X or Y is happening, my responses were pretty much like, I am not permitted to tell you whether the project is significantly over budget. And management won't let me tell you whether or not the company is dropping design requirements for features A and B. I explicitly complied with management's directive of not answering the customer's questions, but I slipped in enough hints in my non-answers that the customer knew where to look and what questions to ask. The customer also kept meeting minutes and often recordings which always reflected that I did not answer questions about the subject under discussion, which was technically the truth. This was very critical later. Eventually, management couldn't hide that the project was way late and way over budget, which didn't surprise the customer thanks to my hints. The customer ripped the company a new one in their periodic contract performance review. Note: on government contracts, it's very difficult to get a low performance score. Really difficult. The company got a very low performance score. It was ugly and the company lost a lot of contract bonuses which would have been a big part of profits and management bonuses. And Fair-Haired Boy was under such stress trying to solve the problems that I'd warned him about. that he had a major heart attack and retired for medical disability. At the age of 42. It was a bad heart attack. Naturally, management wanted me to be the scapegoat so they'd get to fire me. But the customer liked how I worked. And they protected me with very careful language in the performance appraisals, basically. That the task I was doing was the only task in the company that was performing effectively and everything else stank to high heaven. Upper management didn't dare fire me or they'd anger the customer even more than they already had. Possibly to the point of having the contract taken away for non-performance. One particularly nasty manager who really hated me had to give me a significant pay raise and bonus. Because of my work. The fallout from the review was bad enough that corporate headquarters did some management shuffling and a few of my antagonists were suddenly gone. The raise and promotion ended up not mattering because the customer hired me directly working on the same project but on the government side. This caused management to crap their pants because I knew all their dirty secrets and tricks. But I never ratted on any of the managers or company dirty laundry. I didn't have to. My new coworkers had previously figured out where to focus their attention and what questions to ask to get past the company's bullshit. I complied strictly with the terms of my separation from the company and gave away no secrets after I left the company. One of the best parts was that in meetings, all I had to do was put on an evil grin and the company managers would practically shit themselves, wondering if I was going to unearth one of their skeletons. I never did. I just liked watching them squirm. They got paranoid about being caught trying to lie to the government that they were admitting bad news up front. Because of bad performance that management admitted, it got even worse for the company. They decided to try letting their legal hounds on me for violating company non-disclosure agreements. But the customer's meeting minutes proved that I hadn't. The contract was restructured to eliminate several blind spots the company had used to their advantage. The customer's oversight of the company rose significantly. Profit margins on the contract shrank.
Several of management's favorite employees suddenly had resumes on the street because their protection was disappearing. Even more managers retired or found other jobs. It was glorious to watch, doubly so because I let them do it to themselves. And I was extremely happy in my new job, where I still work.
As someone who has been on both sides of the fence, government and contractor, it bugs me the way some contractors just feel the need to abuse their status as a contractor. As the op said, it really is tough to get on the government's bad side once you've already won the contract. But the depths some contractors will go is insane to me. Government money is the people's money. As a taxpayer and someone who has benefited from taxpayer money, anyone who wastes other people's money is garbage.
Good job, sir. Let the bastards burn themselves.
Sometimes you don't even have to hand them the shovel to dig the hole. Great story. I so want to believe this story has to do with the F-35. There's a vibe that makes me want to say so. But there are thousands of government contracts. When asked by the customer, instead of X or Y is happening, my responses were pretty much like, I am not permitted to tell you whether the project is significantly over budget. And management won't let me tell you whether or not the company is dropping design requirements for features A and B. This reminds me of Talia's trick in the B5 episode, Born to the Purple. Unable to read anything beyond the surface thoughts of the slaver, she tells him not to think of anything that he does not wish her to know. Or the location of Adira Tyree. Perfection. This is without doubt the best MC I've read on my time on Reddit. Fucking outstanding. Jesus Christ, you caused someone to have a heart attack by simply doing what you were told. I liked the MC technique of not answering the question directly when there is a company policy forbidding the direct answer. Instead, one states the company policy that says why they can't answer the question. I was talking to a big airline agent on the phone and we came to the determination that they would not be able to fly me with my equipment on the same plane. I then asked what other airlines flew the same route so I might try them. The agent answered with, "I'm sorry, but our company policy says I can't tell you about other airline." I replied that I understood and thanked her for assisting me. I then called other airline and they accommodated me and my gear. It even cost less than the big airline. Note that she did not tell me about other airline, she just told me the company policy. I'm assuming that this took place in the US. If it was the UK, I would find it hard to believe that anyone on the government side gave half a shit whether the contractor was doing things right. Or, more accurately, that no one on that side would be allowed to give a shit, because that would say that the contract was badly specified, badly assigned, or both, by senior government people, quite likely including politicians. Can't have anything like that. Great story, and probably counts as R pro revenge, even it as an act of no acting smiley face. I am deeply saddened that the top comment didn't link to the scene in The Incredibles where Bob is careful to state that he was unable to help the crying old lady. https u2.be/r8gtrktrz4.
It's rare to see such humility these days.
Ooh, that's FCKIN awesome.
Are you happy now?
I love stories of people doing well by doing good. Congratulations. The amount ego this is written with makes it just annoying to read. You may as well have ascribed a near universal dislike as then being jealous your shit smelled like roses. Company politics ruining the company. You'd love to see it. This is one of the best stories I read. Isn't really plotting big revenge but got the job done beautifully. Honestly, I'm not sure how the company's attempt to come after you that led to discovery of the meeting minutes didn't also torpedo the entire contact.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.